wrong. You keep missing what God really wants to do for you. Because so many people have let you down. You've adopted an "I got me" spirit. So you've been hurt by so many people, let down by so many people, that now instead of waiting on God, you adopted a mindset, "I'll get me out of this. You know what? I ain't worried about y'all. I got me." And what God is saying, when you praise me today, you're gonna take a back seat. And God is like, half the hell you went through this year, you never would have had to go through.
Praying that the Lord protect my brother that's locked in. Praying that my son always think that I'm Clark Kent. Praying that you keep me on the path that you got me on. I know it's been a long one and I've been riding all along. Set me from the people that you see wanna do me harm. On them late nights I was tipsy, you guided me home. Really can't complain cause I love who you made me to be. May not be perfect in their eyes, but I'm perfect for me. Yeah, I be feeling like the one and I'm never the two. Anytime we talk I get a deeper connection to you. I know it's like you only hear from me when I'm mad or I'm sad, but I'm working on myself to get better with that. You the answer anytime that I'm feeling too stressed. I just handle what I handle and leave you the rest. And I look up above and I pray for the best, cause I know these prayers ain't easy like sending a text. For real.
When you feel like you can't take no more, you stop talking. You get to a point where you don't want to talk to nobody. You don't want to be around nobody. Why, PMJ? Because the devil has figured out, I can't stop you, but I can cause you to silence you.
I'm just changing how I love and I deal with these people. Seems like when you show love, they start treating you evil. When you let them go, it's when you start to see elevation. And I prefer to run out of patience than be impatient, cause stress kills. If you're on my team for real, let's build. If the common denominator's peace, let us chill. I wanna focus on these pesos and book a trip out to Cabo. Pull up to the light, push a button and let the top go. I ain't never needed glasses, I know that my vision clear. I see the greatest of them all when I look in the mirror. And it doesn't mean you weak if you catching yourself tear up. Sometimes you gotta fight for what you need, you gotta gear up. Just know your blessings is coming, just gotta stay prayed up. All advice ain't good advice if niggas hate us. Loyalty means nothing if they really a traitor. What's done in the dark come out as soon as it light up.
Every parent knows that if your child say, "Mom," you gonna say what? What? "Dad." What? "Mama." What? Because the tone determines the urgency. I ain't never drove 30 minutes in 3 minutes because the tone of his voice said, "Stop what you're doing, Dad, I need you." That's why don't put no circle around me. Don't look at me up and down. I can be a gangster and a worshiper at the same time. What I'm in right now, I need God to show up. I wish I had somebody who would forget about your role and give God an urgency prayer.
Prince, look, everybody ain't your dog, hope you know that. They moving funny, trust yourself, learn to fall back. Gotta watch these bitches too, shit they the grimiest ones. Once you show them how you really live and they after your funds. Sometimes you gotta separate for you to elevate. They gon' scream they love you, but it's really hate. Shit is just a guessing game, can't really tell until it hit the fan. By then it's too late, you could be a dead man. I don't trust none for real, fuck how you niggas feel. You ain't like my brother or my sister, I ain't trying to build. I just want a couple prezzies and diamonds to ice the bezzy. A free chick that put her legs up like Flexi Lexi. This Instagram got niggas all confused cause they judging off the likes versus really how they move. You think you know me, you ain't got a blues clue now. You don't fuck with me, but I ain't never fuck with you, nigga.
Saying, you know, a lot of us don't realize that there are people in our lives that come with an expiration date. Some people in our lives, unfortunately, have an expiration date. Everyone's not meant to be in your life forever. The key is to know when it's time to cut them off, because, you know, sometimes the most hate you get is from your inner circle, like where the support is supposed to come from. And you have to be mindful of that and go, you know, as I'm making this step to the next level, it's not that I changed, but it's that you're not ready to go with me to this next level. You holding me back. So your time is up, and I appreciated the time we had, but now I got to move on. And, you know,
Copyright disclaimer.
In my life, and I'm not saying
under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowances made for fair use for purpose such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips in the balance of the favor of fair use. When is the right time to take accountability for insecurity? I'm going to tell you something, because there's a couple of things going on that you don't even realize. So when I say taking accountability for your insecurity, that means projecting that insecurity onto other people. And it can be argued that everybody is insecure about something. There's always something we can work on or be better at. The root of insecurity for many of us comes from trauma, mental abuse, dealing with abandonment, parental issues, and that could stand all by itself. Or it could be everything that I just said. And when you're dealing with insecurity for the majority of your life without adequate help, you don't always see how it has become a part of who you are and how you relate to other people. And without any warning, one day you look in the mirror to see a man or a woman that views the world through the lens of insecurity. This man, this woman doesn't truly trust other people, but they crave their approval. They need validation, and they seek people outside of themselves for that validation, even in a spot of being unstable by themselves. You feel me? That criticism, regardless of the delivery, can be seen as an attack. You see yourself as somebody and all that you love, everything that you have, but you never get the same dedication in return. Then you start asking yourself, why ain't I enough? You keep repeating that same question in your head over and over and over again. Your insecurities, regardless of the source, has given birth to full-grown anxiety disorder. So now you have to manage the two when the truth is they manage you. We all understand toxic behavior as something that we often have to endure from other people, but we never see ourselves as the source of that same behavior because we give our best to every situation, right? Projecting your insecurity on other people is toxic, and it could be abusive to those you love and care about. It's very hard to accept that statement. But if you're willing to own that your insecurity, often coupled with anxiety, shapes how you view people, parental issues and abuse is real and requires healing. And far too often, you want to move forward with relationships while you harboring the word and the put down from other people. And in that exact space, it's hard to acknowledge one's hypocrisy that is born out of insecurity. Insecurity and past experience will make you say you don't deserve to be judged by the actions of another woman or another man. You are not the person that hurt this person, this other brother, this other sister. And they need to see you for who you are. No, they absolutely right. All men, all women are not crazy because of the women or the men that they encounter. If the brother isn't healed, he needs to tend to himself. And though this position is true, you must ask yourself, did you apply this perspective to you? And just because you have been hurt in a lot of different ways doesn't make that all women are dogs and cheaters, and neither does it mean for a man. Somebody new in your life should not have to bear the judgment of your past. And if you're not healed, maybe you should consider going and trying to search out for something before you start moving on, so that you ain't going to be toxic to somebody else. You don't want to find yourself projecting that same hurt, that same energy, that same insecurity onto other people that you living in right now. No one is saying that the experiences that you have should be ignored. You just don't want to be in a space where they control your life and the interactions with other people. It's important to be able to see ourselves as the strong, splendid women or man that goes before us. And in seeing ourselves through insecurity means that this is the only way that we can see other people. You will hurt sisters that love and are standing with you. And you can hurt a man that is just trying to love you. Work on healing and killing that insecurity so that you could be free and love freely. But you got to be accountable when you wrong. There it is. Boom. I'm going to tell you something. Women will never admit when they wrong, or that women are always right. My beloved sisters, let's be honest. Some of us believe those statements. And it's not to say men are never wrong. We are just more aware that they are who they are and that they mistreat women in relationships and often allow their ego and pride to be the undoing of a relationship that could have been beautiful. Man, you ain't off the hook either. Are you aware of this? And do you speak to the mistreatment of women? Which you should. You see, we are in a quest for equality and proper treatment, and we must be willing to function at the level of the standards that we set. Man, you know your ass is wrong. You know you're wrong. It can cause a relationship to go downhill. And you know that, man. Don't make no excuses for your behavior. But what you need to do is listen to reason and try to make amends when you're wrong. Just like we have to do the same thing. Taking accountability when you're wrong. And that misdirected shit that you're doing out there, projecting your own insecurity on other people. This is the type of social climate that we live in right now. And because in all areas of our life, I'm not saying some, I'm saying all. We all have different expectations when it comes to verbal confrontation and assumption. You don't even know about the different challenges that each of y'all or each of us face at times. But I also know that we use it to justify why we can be combative or think as we do in any given situations. And sometimes our past is the justification for our behavior. And just with men, pride and ego play a part as to why we don't always own the things that we do and what we say. Y'all don't get it. I want to dig in somebody's ass so bad, but I gotta chill because I don't want to block my blessings. That hurt that we have felt in past or maybe even present relationships, that we have to navigate our way through all of these different various abuses and trauma. See, you don't think that you caused the abuse or trauma. But we got to take ownership for that shit too, because we allowed that shit to fucking happen. We allowed that shit because we have the ability to create our own reality and all the players that are in it. And if we don't want you in our sandbox anymore, we have the ability to kick your ass out. Because in our own sandbox, we can find peace without the fucking chaos. So take that shit on the hop. Kick some rocks. So you see that situations like this make it difficult to trust. And sometimes the pain shows itself in a defensive manner. We could be wrong in a situation, and no matter how it's presented, we could see ourselves as being attacked, especially if the source of our trauma is a man or a woman. And this can cause us in a relationship to assume that a man or a woman's behavior, when he or she has done nothing wrong, become verbally combatant, when he or she tries to explain their feelings or responds to us voicing a concern. Here's the question. Is the concern genuine, or is it just to keep you hook, line, or sinker? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they respond fast enough to our call or text. Get over it. Because the only thing that's doing to you is causing you anxiety. And then that leads to accusing them of everything under the sun. Get over yourself. If you trust them, you trust them. You don't, you don't. Take accountability for your shit. Because when we do find out something's going on, or that he or she was dishonoring to the relationship, it's going to be a difficult task for the apologies to start flowing. It's easier to just stay in the fight, right? And find some way by which the fault can rest on the other person, because you felt that they should have responded sooner. Sometimes when we bring up situations, we want them to say, okay, I'll do better, whether they wrong or right. However, they not allowed to expect the same from us. And these kinds of situations can be a direct result of insecurity. Poof. Because of our deep-rooted pain that has nothing to do with the person that we're currently with. It's time. I was told today it's time to hang your petty Betty shoes up and keep it a thou wow, because it's time to go to your place of healing. And though your pain is real, it's not okay to use it as a weapon. Even if you don't realize that that's what's happening. All of us are living with some type of pain and abuse. It ain't just about us. But we so quick to remind a man or a woman that we are not the person or the situation of their past. Nobody deserves abuse because of the past, and many of us are finding the courage to stand up and say we will no longer tolerate the treatment. Bye. You know what I'm saying? It's important to know that if you are the person starting a fight, you are just as wrong as the person in that moment. It's wrong for anybody to demand what they're not willing to give or do. Everybody got to be fair. No person should have their character drug through the mud because their person is taking out their past pains on them. Sometimes the culprit is us. And if it is, we have to take responsibility and make amends. Ain't nothing wrong with saying I'm sorry. Saying it and actually putting that shit in action. We can't keep up the fight once we realize that we're in the wrong. Because that fight, some of them, is fueled by hurt. But then there's also pride and ego and the need to be right. Because we are almost always wrong. Right? Because we must remember that our children see this shit, for those who have them, and they learn from it, just as the same as it applies to men or women. Can you honestly say that some of your past relationships failed because you did not deal with the past hurt? And you took them out on your partner that you was with. It takes a long time to be able to come to terms with your own insecurity, and that your mouth had become an abusive weapon on a lot of different occasions. Because you disregard their feelings because of your pain and your need to be understood without any thought of what it was doing to them. Sometimes it takes a really good friend to like slap you upside your head. What are you doing? And just tell you the truth. Just because doesn't mean that your feelings are any less than theirs. And in that moment, you have to realize that you need to take accountability for your own hurt and your own actions. Just like them who doing that shit to you. Many of us are hurt. And there ain't nobody saying nothing wrong with that. Nobody arguing that. But we gotta give what we expect. You feel me? Let me say that one more time. We gotta give what we expect. We gotta heal and realize sometimes we get it wrong. And we gotta hold ourselves accountable. Because if we don't, we're no better than those that we speak against. You feel me? Sometimes you need to start looking at yourself and start doing some self-love. Because love, if you ain't get it by now, it's a strong emotion. And it has a power to bring joy and peace. But sometimes it can bring other things out. They can bring out extreme darkness. And it can be a burden that drains the spirit in a way that makes it hard to function and make it through another moment, let alone a day. Maybe there should be a hierarchy to how we love. I don't know. But I'm done with it. I've said what I said, and I said what I said. And that's it, and that's all. I'm done. You got to take accountability for projecting your insecurity on other people. Hell, take accountability for your shit. And if you owe somebody an apology, apologize. Otherwise, you might fuck around and find out. I'm just saying. All right, I'm done. I'll see y'all later. Be well, stay safe. Ashe and D-bow to each and every one of you. And I shall see you all very, very soon. Oh, pause. The music that you heard in the beginning is my son. I put all of his links into his various different YouTube pages. But as time goes on, I'll be playing more of his music. And I will be putting links to all of the platforms that he's on. Hit him up. Listen to it. You know what I'm saying? He makes good music. Real good music. Real music. You know, that in your soul music. I'm done. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Prince. Real life shit, man. Just wanna talk to you. Hear me out. Let's get it. Prince. I can't complain, y'all. This was God's plan. In these cards I was dealt, I got a hard hand. They tell me don't stress, well that's easy to say. They don't understand my life on a day-to-day. They don't even think I struggle cause I keep a smile. But inside I'm going crazy, my life is wild. Smoking blacks and cigs right down to the filter. Venting on beats like maybe they'll feel you. I don't trust the soul, I talk to myself nowadays. What else? Praying to the Lord for some better days. So many thoughts when I was in that cage. Feeling like a slave, wrist cuffed to the chains. Where the liquor at? Shit, I need another shot. I got the keys but can't find a lock. To open doors for a real nigga. It's the type of shit that make you pop a pill, nigga. Everything numb. They say they there but I don't feel the love. And they ain't gonna show it till I'm up above. I got a lot going on and that's word to my mama. And everything I do is for little Wayana. Plus she getting way older now. And she getting way smarter now. It's only right I grind harder now. And teach her real and fake so she don't make no mistakes.
A person who is spiritually gifted, like prophetically they can see, won't say nothing about what they picked up on. Those are the type of people who have wisdom and understanding. They will move themselves completely. They would separate themselves because whatever they picked up, they either seen it in a dream, they feel it, God has told them because they have discernment. Y'all got to stop playing with these people and playing with them because they know when your intentions aren't right. They may not say nothing. They may not act indifferent towards you. They may not act mean towards you. But those are the people that can pick up on spirits. They know when something's off. They know when somebody don't like them. And if I'm the type of person, if I know you don't like me, I'm not going to put myself in your presence. Be careful of those who can prophetically see, prophetically sense and feel and have wisdom. Because if I sense and feel something, and your intentions aren't right and your motives are wicked, I ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna act indifferent. I'm going to go. I'm going to remove myself. I have seen beyond your